We're alive. Well, hello, Substack. Are you interested in uplifting stories about grit, resilience, and truth that touch the human soul? And are you ready to see the world through someone else's eyes? Well, great. You're in the right spot because today I get to talk to Naz Pankey. She's a film writer. She's a writer, a filmmaker, a storyteller, originally from the Bronx, now based in Atlanta. Naz, welcome to the show.
Oh, it's an honor to be here. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's so fun. I would love to know, how did you get started with stories?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question, Shannon. I actually started from a young kid watching a lot of television. I didn't know how to read as a kid, and I stayed home with my siblings, and we would just watch stories. And I love really like wholesome stories. My favorite show was Little House on the Prairie. Believe it or not, with Laura Ingalls and Charles Ingalls. Yeah, that was my favorite show. I think I
Mm.
watched every episode there is, the old one, not the new one. They just relaunched one. But yeah, that's I was a storyteller from a young kid. I would tell my sisters, bedtime stories, and
Mm.
yeah, have a big imagination, paid attention to different things, wondered about people, asked questions. I care about people, and I think that's what makes me. That's how I got started with storytelling.
And so, are you excited about the relaunch of Little House?
I am. I haven't watched it yet because I've been so busy, but I am. I'm very excited about it.
You are busy. Oh my goodness. You are doing everything. I was looking up at your different projects and you've got so much happening. Tell us about some of the stuff that you're working on right now.
Oh my goodness. Well, right now I'm writing a series called White Bricks. It's 4 episodes. I'm excited. We're going into production in October, and I'm directing the series.
Yay.
Super excited about that. I'm also producing a family movie. It's called Home of the Soul, written by
Mm.
Danny Gray, and we're going into production in November. So I'm excited about that. And tomorrow I'm starring in a film, and it is called Dirty Black and Crusty. I'm playing. I'm
That is a
playing
great title.
dirty. I'm playing dirty. My best friend is playing black, and there's another guy, 21. He's playing crusty, and it's about just three friends. They're all really broke and struggling, and they're all kind of like coming up with these different schemes and to make money. And they get caught up. They get caught, and they're on the run. It's a comedy, I kind of like. Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. It's fun. I'm looking forward to playing the character.
Yeah,
And yes, I decided to do it because of the title.
the title is, I love that title. And then the other one, the soul of the home, what was it called?
Home of the Soul.
And what's that one about?
That's a beautiful story about a man who goes back to his hometown
Mm.
to bury his dad, and he ends up building his community, finishing up his dad's legacy,
Mm.
and finding reconnecting with the love of his life, and then he finds out that he also has a kid, and it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful family story. It's going to touch a lot of people. I'm really proud to be a part of it. Yeah.
And so do you feel like in your storytelling that there's a sort of a thread that comes through all of them? When I was reading your just all the things that you've done, it's just about like uplifting and soul and
Yes.
being better humans and not letting any doors that are shut stay shut.
Yes.
So does that
Yes.
come through like in these films that we haven't seen yet?
And some of them are really gritty too. I write all kind of stories and I tell different stories, but for life, everything in the end is just to really understand the human condition, who we are as humans. And I think we are several people. We as humans, we have the ego, the voice inside of our head. But who we really are, we all have a goodness inside of us, and we have to
Mhm.
tap into that. So the stories is like, with any other story that we write, there's an arc. There's a beginning, how you start off, and then there's how you end up. And you might start off good and end up bad, or you might start off bad
Yeah.
and end up good. But when we do these stories, especially with film, there has to be an arc. So it all depends on the story that I'm writing, but it's just all story, and it's just understanding the human humans, giving ourselves the benefit of the doubt to understand one another and
Yeah.
understand that no one is perfect. We all have our flaws. We all have, our weakness, and we all have our strengths. And somebody's strengths might be someone else's weakness, but we have to be kind of understanding about that. And that's what it's about, understanding that even that people are different people at different times, depending
Yeah.
on what's going on in their life.
Yeah.
And just to show people love and
Yeah.
mercy, right? And
Yeah.
grace. That's what it's about, understanding that we've all been different people at different times.
Yeah.
And the grace that we want to be shown, we have to give it to other people. And that's really what I think storytelling is about. I think that's what being a human is about, being a friend is about. And I didn't notice at one time because, again, as you and I was talking before the live, you have to really tap into who you are, and you can't dwell on the past. The past is there. We all have things that we've had to overcome, but it's not about forgetting it, but it's about not letting it control your life and who you are today and living in the present. And I think once everyone can get there, and it takes time, we all get there at different times in our life. So
Mhm.
it's important to have grace and patience with people and love. And I always say love is the answer. It's the answer to everything. So yeah, every day I'm learning to be a better person and also be a better storyteller and include some of those values in my storytelling, but also keep it real, and keep it
Yeah.
relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, the character for me, I'm really big on characters. So a character might start off being really evil or having a big ego or jealous and whatever it is, but by the end they have transformed, or if they start off being loving, at the end they've transformed, because I want to bring people into what really happens in real life and how real life works. And I want for people to be able to watch my shows and see themselves. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
let's just take a minute. So Pam is with us. Say hi to Pam. Hi, Pam.
Hi, Pam. Oh,
Thanks.
Pam.
Thanks for
So
joining us.
yeah, thanks for joining. I met Pam in South Carolina, Beaufort, South Carolina. She is so sweet, and she has her amazing book. And
Give
Pam
her
had,
what's the title of her book? Grace
oh
for
my,
Grief.
Grace over grief, I believe it
Grace.
is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Pam, can you put it in the chat? I believe it's Grace over grief. And Pam and I had a great conversation because I lost my stepdaughter. I lost her in a car accident. So we talked
Mhm.
about that. And then I had just recently lost my stepdad. So Pam has written just an amazing book that's going to help so many people, because I don't think people understand grief. Grief
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a little sneaky little thing, and it
Yeah.
just kind of can take over your whole life.
Yeah.
It's something we have to go through, like they say, the different stages of grief, and it's something that everyone has to go through. And again, it goes back to grace. It goes
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
understanding that we go through
Yeah.
different things at different times of our life.
And,
Yeah.
and I have a funny example of that. And I just want to say hi to Troy. Troy is an excellent writer from Florida, and Jeff Smith,
Hi,
who's a
Troy.
math teacher in, I think, Illinois. So I have a funny example of that. So I was a teacher for 30 years, and I would always get on kids for texting in class. And I was recently in a Story Summit class. Bailey Patterson was teaching. And my mom had just gone to the ER. My mother-in-law is in the hospital. And then my grandson was dealing with some medical stuff. So I have like 5 different text threads going on. And I'm texting in the middle of class. And I'm like, God, I really want to try to pay attention. And they were talking about arias in film and how you have to have this really beautiful speech and this uplifting speech. And so people were practicing them. So guess who got called on to do the reading?
Oh,
And I'm like, oh my God, of course, right now that's going to happen. So,
oh goodness.
speaking of going through hard times, how do you, you talked about how you at the end of high school had a 3rd grade reading level, but you still went back to college, and then became a filmmaker and an author, and now you're teaching at Okoboji. I mean,
I'm so
that's incredible.
excited.
Like, so,
Yes.
like, your arc, your story arc is so
Yes.
just incredible. Like, how do you, because people, like, it's so sad when you see people that don't heal or deal with the hard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How do you heal with the hard stuff and then hold a different vision for your life?
It's a decision.
Mm,
It's a
mm.
decision. That's what it is. When I was in high school, my teacher said, no matter what you do, you're not going to pass, no matter how hard you work. I had teachers, yeah, a teacher told me that, and I believed my teacher, and I didn't believe I could do it. I really didn't believe in myself. It took a decision. I went to college as an adult. It was a 2-year college. I thought I would get in and get out and become a nurse in my head. I
Mhm.
had a high school diploma, was passed through the educational system. And when I took the placement test, my reading level was at a third grade reading level. So I had to take remedial reading at the lowest level. Now, at that point, it's like, okay, do I do this or do I do what I've always done? Well, of course, I started doing what I always did. What was easy. Made a few friends. Hey, did you do the homework? Okay, let me see what you got. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. And it wasn't working for me. Things was happening. It wasn't working, and
Yeah.
I just broke down one day and decided that I was going to try. I said, I'm just going to try. I don't know if I can do it. I don't believe I can do it, but I'm going to try. I actually had a spiritual encounter with God on my school grounds. It was a beautiful fall day. The leaves, was turning. They was on the ground blowing. It was like something in a movie, It was just, I was the only one on the street. Everyone was in class. I wasn't in a class. And I was just, I was walking the street crying and going through this encounter, and I heard God say, "See yourself through my eyes, until you can see yourself. I created you perfectly."
Ah,
And I was like, okay, wow, and God is excellent, and I can be excellent, and I can strive for it. And I just made a
mm,
promise. I was like, I am going to strive for excellence.
mm.
I'm just going to try. And so at that moment, I went in class. I sat at the very front. From that point, I was sitting in the front of the classroom, in the middle, right in the professor's face.
Yeah.
Then I would leave and go right to the library and go over everything that I learned. And then I would go to the reading lab and the writing lab, and I would be in the shower, and I would just be like trying to train my mind to actually retain the information. And that's how I would write stuff down and go over my notes. And it was a lot, but I did it.
Mm.
And I couldn't believe it. And then everything just started to fall in place. I got a job in college. I made it to the dean's list. I got a scholarship, which helped me pay for school. Like, it was just amazing. I found my love for filmmaking. I found my love for writing. I wrote a book while I was in college. Like, all these wonderful things began to happen when I made the decision
Mm.
that I was going to give it my best, that I was just going to give it my all. And so, yeah, that was how the journey. It starts with a decision, and you're gonna go through ups and downs. But as long as you hold on to that decision and you give it your all, I believe that you will make it. You will succeed. And that's what. And then I used to drive a school bus, because you can drive a school bus and take your kids to work with you. So I took my kids to school with me too, to college with me. Yeah. They would be in the class, and my professors let me do it too. They were wonderful. They were
Mm.
wonderful. And I think that's important too. Just having support
Yeah.
and having people that really believe in you is
Yeah.
important. And I was blessed to have that in college. And so when I used to drive a school bus, I used to drive Steve Wilkos's kids to school every morning. And his wife was the producer of the Jerry Springer show. So when I had to do my internship, Steve Wilkos says, "Yeah, I'll take Naz." They wasn't really taking people. NBC, they weren't taking people from a 2-year college, but because it was me, he said, "Yeah, bring Naz in." So I was the first student at that school to get an internship with NBC, and then they hired me. So I worked for Steve Wilkos, and then of course I started working for Jerry Springer, and I would do editing with Avid, and then I went to work for the Maury Show. So I've
Wow.
seen a lot of Jerry beads. I did
Wow.
quality control for Jerry Springer, so I saw a lot of real Jerry beads
Oh, I don't know what
from
Jerry
the
beads.
men and the women.
What's Jerry beads?
I want my Jerry beads. They raise their shirt. I want my Jerry beads. And the men would pull
Oh,
down their pants. I
oh,
want my Jerry beads.
oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
so
know that.
I've seen a lot of Jerry beads. Yes.
But, what an incredible, and don't you think, like, I feel like when you do make that decision, I think it was Joseph Campbell that said magical doors will open. Like
Yes.
when you choose this is what I'm doing, then and you act on it, then those doors start to open. What do you think, what doors are opening for you right now? Like, you're going to teach at
Oh my
Okoboji.
goodness.
What are you
So many
teaching at Okoboji?
amazing doors have opened through Story Summit, through Okoboji, through, Julie Gamick. Oh my God, I just love her.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love her. So let me tell you, first of all, I'm gonna go to that. I heard Margaret South's beat sheet class. I took her beat sheet class on Facebook. It was a Facebook post. I clicked on it, watched it. I was blown away because I love screenwriting, and she broke that thing down. And from that beat sheet class, I joined Story Summit because it's one of Story Summit's classes. I joined Story Summit right before my stepdad passed away because I went through grief. So right before that, I joined, and I was working as a fire inspector for the city of Atlanta at the time. And then all these things started happening afterwards that was like crushing. Well, my stepdad passed, and I was just in this deep depression.
yeah.
And I was trying to get myself out of that stuff, so I began to listen to a lot of positive audio books and meditate and pray and read. I was really trying to get myself out. And so I joined Story Summit, of course, and decided to go to Hollywood. And that was just one of the best experiences of my life. I met so many wonderful people, so many great writers. We just connected. It was just absolutely fabulous. And I was like, this is my home. I found my tribe. And so that was fantastic. And then I decided that I was just going to be me.
Yeah.
I'm enough.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be anyone else but me. That's it. And be honest. When I say be me, like, just be authentically me. Honest. Yeah. If I have it, I have it. If I don't, I don't. I am me. And when I decide to do that, it's just all the blessings, just the doors begin to open, and all of my desires and my dreams are coming true. And that is the truth. I said, I am just going to be me. And I have just made some incredible friends, including you, Shannon. I mean, we met at Her Spirit. Julie Cantrell, who was just on your show, amazing author. She inspired me to apply for the Her Spirit scholarship. She reminded me and inspired me, and I came home. It was almost midnight, and I was like, I don't know. I never win. First I was doubtful. I never win anything, and I was like, man. I was like, Naz, you got to try. That's the thing. We got to try. And I wrote this story, and I won, and I was able to go to Her Spirit and meet you and so many amazing writers, and Deb Engel. Oh my God. Woo. That woman is just love.
And light.
And I feel so blessed. I feel so blessed. And then, and why at Her Spirit, Michelle, my sweet Michelle, she has a movie coming out. She was like, Naz, you got to go to Okoboji. So she mentioned Okoboji to me. We met in Hollywood. So she mentioned Okoboji to me in Hollywood. Then she mentioned it to me at Her Spirit, in Santa Cruz. And I was like, I don't know. And she says, well, I said, I don't really have money for that. And I didn't have any money. And she says, there's scholarships. I'm gonna contact Julie. I said, don't do that. I said, I'm here on a scholarship. Again, that's the ego. The ego is worried about, what is everyone going to think? I'm a freebie. I'm a freeloader. Don't do that. That's my ego. That's the voice in my head. That's not really me, right? This is a blessing, but I'm not receiving the blessing because the ego is saying, everybody's going to think I'm here and I'm just taking it. I'm just freeloading. And so she reached out, and Julie said yes right away. And so I didn't even have money for airfare. Julie Gamick and Julie Klein, they got me to Okoboji.
Oh,
And it was
wonderful.
just incredible. And this was the year, like all these things, I was still going through like my grief, and
Yeah.
all these wonderful things are just started happening in my life. And just I was surrounded by so much love. And so when you mention now I'm actually going there to teach, that is
Yeah.
so amazing. And like
Yeah.
it's just a mindset of be who you are, love who you are. Nobody is perfect. We're not perfect people. We're all growing, we're all evolving, and but just accept people for who they are, even if they're not perfect, because we've all been there. No one's perfect, right? And just be who you are, and be open to receiving. So once I calmed the ego and just opened my heart, right, to
Yeah.
receiving, it's been dynamic. It really has. It's been a blessing. I'm so grateful and just blessed every day. I'm like, wow, I'm just looking at all the wonderful things that God is blessing me with. Like I said, you and our Story Summit family and Okoboji, and even here my family in Georgia, and all the projects that I'm working on. It's incredible. Yeah.
I think it's true too that we do have to like get to the place where we can receive it.
Yes.
Like even there's people that talk about nervous system regulation, where if you want to call in wealth or success or whatever it is, but you have to actually get your container ready to handle it. Because most people are afraid. Oh, well, if I'm rich, are people going to judge me? Or if I'm
Hmm.
successful, are people going to be, judge me? Am I going to lose friends? So it's like coming into that space of saying, no, look, see, I love what you said earlier about how God sees you.
Yes.
Because God wants you to tell stories, to uplift people. And so getting that support to tell those stories, like I really think stories change the world. So the more that we can, when like you said this on your website, see the world through somebody else's eyes
Yes.
and have empathy, then that's how we can truly like connect and see the humanity in others.
Yes. 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 Yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree. And just understanding, having understanding. And I always say it's a process.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a process. Understanding is, you got the knowledge, you know what's going on. I always look at like a cake box with the ingredients in the back. That's the knowledge. We got the ingredients, all the information is there. You open up a book, it's there. But then when you make the cake over and over and over again, you don't have to read the ingredients, the instructions,
Yeah.
right? Because you know what to put, this amount of water, this amount of oil, this amount of butter. You understand it. But the wisdom is, to understand, that's the wisdom. But the understanding is understanding what makes the cake rise and fall. It's that whole process. And you got to go through the process. And once you go through so many different things in life, it just makes you, I think, a better human, where you can understand others because of the things that you've been through in life, and have more, again, more mercy, more grace, more compassion. And that's what it's all about. And I
Yes.
think that's what we
Yes. Yeah.
are. Yeah, we have these different versions of ourselves, but I think we all are love. And we
Yes.
all have that. We all have that. But like you said, there's that fear too. That fear gets in the way. Fear.
And
You want to figure, yeah.
I also think, using your cake analogy, what came to me, because I feel like right now, like I've put all the ingredients together. I've taken the classes and the courses and the conferences and the written, blah, blah, blah. And when you put that cake in the oven and you hit the timer, you also have to have faith and trust that that cake's going to come
Yes.
out cooked. Like you got to let it go and be like, okay, I did my part.
Yes. And just know. You
Mm-hmm.
know the cake is going, because you've made it so many times. You know it's going to come out great, and people are going to love it. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a really good, yeah, it's really good because for me, that's what I've been sitting with lately is just, okay, because sometimes the ego that you were talking about, like I want to hustle, grind, and make this, the next step happen, and it's not working that way for me right now.
Mhm.
It's just not. I have to. I'm shifting to some different projects, and my Gen X heart is like, what the hell are you doing? You should set a goal and XYZ plan, but it's not working like that. It's
Okay, make the plans that you have. You said you have
yeah,
plans and
yeah,
it's not
like
working.
yeah. So
It's working. It's working. It's just not working the way you. It's not
yes,
going to come in the form you want it to come in. It's working, but it's just going to come in a different. It's coming. Sometimes it's like you can't see it. If you think of a circle, and you're like
yeah,
a little dot in the middle, and you know everything in behind you. You know everything behind that dot because you already experienced it. But ahead of you, you can't see it, but it's already there.
yeah,
It's already there. It's already so everything that you're working towards is there. You just can't see how it's coming, but it's coming. So you
yeah.
feel like it's not coming the way that I planned it. I said A, B, C, D,
Yes,
E, F,
yeah.
G, and it's not coming. It may be coming the opposite way, but it will happen. You just have to keep working towards it. It's coming.
It's so
That's right.
true.
Yes,
Can you
absolutely.
believe let's just say hi really quick to some of the people in the chat. Cindy, Cindy from LA, she joined us.
Hi,
Love her.
Cindy.
And who else is on there? And Claire. Hello, Claire. Thanks
Hi,
for joining
Claire.
our talk. So we're like getting close to the end. I can't believe it. So I like to ask all of the guests that come on the show, what does imagine, believe, discover mean to you?
Oh, what we've been talking about. Just imagine, you close your eyes and you see something that you want, you imagine it, and then you believe it. You have to believe. I was walking those school grounds and I had to believe. I had to say, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. It's like in the Bible where it says, asking you shall receive, seeking you shall find. And then once you find, knocking, the door shall be open. That's what it is. It's really manifestation. It's about imagining something, believing in your heart, and then knowing that it will find you or you will find it. But I would say you will find each other.
Mm.
That's what I would say. I mean, I also want to add to, I know we're almost over, but I gotta add this. My boy Andy Edge and I, we doing the thing. We are
Okay.
doing the thing. We have written an amazing script, and it is a we are quarterfinalists in the page, and now in the script
Yes.
Palooza, quarterfinalists in script Palooza, and
Awesome.
he will be flying in. He wrote an amazing short story, and we are filming it on August 18th. I can't leave him out. Yes, that is.
And
Yeah,
then when do you your
we
quarterfinal?
met actually we're both in Story Summit, and we connected right here on Substack.
And then when do you find out? Like, so it's quarterfinals, and then when do you find out about semis, and then the
I don't know. He knows because he submitted the screenplay, so I don't know when we'll find out.
We've got a lot of Story Summit people in some finalist categories right now. Eric has one in finalist, and then Cindy's talking to some producers, and then Michelle, her film's getting filmed.
Yes. Michelle is fantastic. She's amazing. I'm so happy for her. Yeah,
And what another uplifting story of just taking so much pain and turning it into love.
Purpose.
Actually, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Pain into purpose.
Yeah,
same thing with Miss Pam. If Miss Pam is still on, she did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is that's what it's about. It's about manifestation. It's about knowing. It's about knowing. That's why I know everything you're working towards, Shannon, you'll have it. You're such a positive person. You're an inspiration. You know what you did for all of us at Her Spirit with the what if. Like, that was my favorite part. I was like, wait a minute, where did she come from? Where did this come from? I mean, do you know what you did with that?
So we have to explain it for the viewers because they're like, other people will watch this after we send it out on email.
Yeah.
But so just so the viewers understand. So on Instagram, there's a reel, and I don't know who made it or where it started, but it's a reel of somebody writing a book, and it's, instead of the what ifs of the negative, it's what if you finish? What if you get an agent? What if they like it? What if it becomes a a New York Times bestseller? What if you affect somebody's life? What if it becomes somebody's favorite book? What if they highlight passages in your book? And so the teacher and me, when we went to Her Spirit, I had people partner up and like basically look into each other's eyes. And then I would say a what if statement, and then they had to say it to each other. And by the end, and this I did not predict, all these women were screaming and jumping up and down.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, do you remember the energy just freaking exploded?
It was amazing.
I was like, well, that's kind of cool. That's fun.
Yes. It's just
so
amazing.
now whenever I see any one of our Her Spirit girls, I'm always like, what if?
What if? That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I am so excited for everything that you're doing and teaching at Okoboji, and your screenplays and your writing and just this positive voice that you are in the world. And thank you so much for joining us today to uplift our audience and the people that will see this later. And I think we're all I know I am anyway, gonna walk away with seeing myself as God sees me.
Yes, because you're perfect. You're perfect in His eyes.
Yeah.
You're created perfect.
What a beautiful sentiment. So until next time, everybody, just remember, I'm trying out new little taglines to stay curious, imagine boldly, believe deeply, and discover what's possible, because love is the way.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.